Welcome back to Cray Outdoors. In today's video, I get my kayak out onto Langan Lake Park in Mobile, Alabama with a couple of my friends. I told my one friend she could be part of the intro video, however that intro clip seems to have disappeared, so I'm filming my intro now. No idea what happened to it, so I apologize to my friend. However, all of the fishing clips do appear to still be on the camera, so we do have a fishing video. I hope you all enjoy. Langan Lake is a super public pond, tends to get a ton of fishing pressure. However, you know, sometimes these local public ponds that get a ton of fishing pressure, sometimes they have big fish in them. I've seen some big fish in this lake personally. I talk about it a little bit in the video. I do a lot of work out there. I get my kayak out there doing some invasive apple snail control for work. So I'm out on the lake a lot and I've seen a lot of big fish, so catching them is definitely a challenge, but that's what this video was. Get out there and see if we can catch those big fish. Hope you enjoy.
Nice one. Oh, he's not super nice, but he's not bad. He's certainly not bad. He's a fighter too. Uh-oh, he's getting me buried in the weeds. I might lose him yet. He's taking me under the weeds. He's around a log. I'm gonna lose him. F word. He's in those weeds big time. Come on, come on, come on. I'm also scared of the alligator in here. No, he's a real nice one. He's nicer than I thought. Alright, he's nicer than I thought. He's nicer than I thought. Look how chunky he is. Woo! Alright, there's a fish. There's a start on Langan Lake. Pressured public water. Heck yeah. Guzzled it too. Wow. I think he'll be alright. He's not hooked in the gill, that's a good thing. I think he'll be alright. Just gotta get the line off, he's not bleeding. Alright, I think he'll be alright. Alright, about 17 inches. Yep, 17 on the dot. I do want to get a quick picture of him. Oop. Alright, well, he took off before I could get a picture. That's okay, we got him on camera. Alright. Good day, good day. I just caught that bass on. It's a Lake Fork tackle flipper. One of those lures that I hate to use, but I use it because it's super effective. This thing smells absolutely terrible. You have to cut it off and put it back in the bag before you put it in your vehicle. It'll make your vehicle smell like regurgitated vomit. That's what this thing smells like. Super strong scent. Falls apart super easily. In fact, I'm really surprised this is still in good shape after catching that bass. Usually it's only good for one fish, one bite even. Falls apart super flimsy, but it's super buoyant. It stands up like this, and these back pincher things go flying up in the air, and you put this thing on a bass bed between that incredible scent and the way this thing stands up, it just drives the bass crazy. Super effective, but not my favorite lure to use, but it's super effective, so we're using it. Black and blue seems to be a really effective color down here in South Alabama. It's starting to turn into my new confidence color. Green pumpkin was definitely my confidence color up north in New York and Pennsylvania. Rarely would I use black and blue, but down here, man, black and blue seems to be the way to go. So that's what I'm starting to throw more and more often. I'm starting to transition my stuff to black and blue. Not to say that green pumpkin isn't effective, but for whatever reason, the fish down here seem to have a preference for black and blue. Quite the large bed. There's another bed right there. I don't see any fish on it. We are now post-spawn, so that's why these bass are eating. There's definitely, we're bedded up here recently. We might still see a couple bass on beds, but we're pretty much into the post-spawn at this point. Huge beds in here, though. Must have been some big bass. Went in the tree and then a fish hit it. Okay, we're out of the tree. Fish is on it still. Got him. Oh, it's a good one, too. Another good one, another good one. Thing's a little bit smaller than the last one. I wish I was filming that cast. Cast it over the tree into the water and the fish grabbed it. Oh, come here, buddy. Gotcha. Alright, cool. That's fish number 2. Other day, I went back to the lower part of the lake here. Not much was happening on the upper part of the lake. I've been fishing a couple hours here. Bites have been few and far between, but we're catching a few. Found a section with some fish. Alright, so there's this random cart in the water. Looks like it was dumped here intentionally, and we're going to find out what's underneath of it. I'm scared it's going to be a body. There might be nothing in it. We'll find out though. I mean, there's probably going to be nothing in it, but I don't even know if I can do this without. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. We can try going this way. Whoa. There we go. Now it's moving. I guess it's just an empty cart.
Yeah, there's nothing in it.
Huh.
Start whacking down below with your paddle. See if an arm floats up.
Yeah, no, definitely nothing inside it. Definitely nothing in it. Alright, well.
Harry, what do we do now? I guess we gotta just keep it there.
I can try tying my anchor rope to it. I don't know. Do you think if I paddled full speed, I'd be able to pull it to the shore?
If you want to bother with it, I would just leave it.
I guess so. If I was here with the golf course crew, we'd get it out.
Oh yeah.
So just to educate you guys a little bit on what I do for work, one of the projects that my crew works on before we got shut down, we actually just got shut down this week due to the COVID-19 pandemic, so we're no longer working in the field, unfortunately. But when we were working in the field, we came to this lake once or twice a week and removed invasive apple snails and crushed their eggs. You can see these pink things here that you see just lining the shoreline of Langan Lake. These are the egg sacs from the invasive apple snails. So they have to be laid on something that's solid enough for the snails to come out of the water onto it. They need to be laid over water, but not in the water. If the eggs are in the water, they don't hatch. So we go along the shoreline of the lake and scrape off these disgusting egg sacs. They smell. They're just disgusting. They're really gross, but it's important that we do this work. There wouldn't be much shoreline vegetation on this lake at all if we weren't constantly going after these apple snails. You can see here, right here is an example of an invasive apple snail, and I should not be touching this with my bare skin, but this one looks like it's dead. These are the snails. I don't have anywhere to put this one, so unfortunately I'm going to put this back, but this is what they look like. You can see they're pretty big, and they're really disgusting. I think this one's already dead, so yeah, I don't feel bad putting this one back. It's a dead snail. But they're really, really foul creatures. They're really gross. They carry a lot of diseases, hepatitis being one of them. Once again, you shouldn't really be touching them. When we gather them, normally we have latex gloves and trash pickers, because you don't want to touch them with your bare skin. That's how many diseases they carry. I mean, you see on the camera, there's another one right here. This one looks like it's still alive. They're just all over the place. They're absolutely everywhere. You know, there's another one on the paddle. We'll just fill up buckets and buckets and buckets of these things. Yeah, that one's still alive. So yeah, they're a big problem here in Langan Lake. They came by people releasing them from their fish tanks. They clean the fish tanks, and when people got done with their fish tanks, they dumped them in here. But now they're going around the lake eating all the vegetation. And you know, having shoreline vegetation is actually really important for fish habitat, especially largemouth bass. They're not good for the fishery, and they're just gross creatures. So yeah, if you have a fish tank or whatever, make sure that you properly dispose of your snails and your fish. Don't introduce exotic species. Anyway, that's a little bit of what I do, the work that we do. It's part of the reason I know this lake so well is I'm out here on my kayak once a week getting rid of these snails with my crew, which is it's a gross project, but it's a fun one because you get to get out on the lake on kayaks. Got on another one. This one's a smaller guy though. I do know this is the section of the lake where a small alligator hangs out. So I want to get these bass out and into the boat quickly here. Alright, see you later, buddy. Whoa, bass number 3. Oh boy, that was an immediate bite. That's not what the blow up was. Look at this stupid little thing. It's not you weren't the source of that big blow up, I don't think. Alright, right, smallest bass of the day so far. First bass we caught would have ate that one. Folks, it is now raining, so I think this might mean that the end of our day is near. However, in the short term here, this rain might be a good thing for the fishing. There we go. There's a good one. That's a real big one. That one's bigger than the first one. Holy cow, it came off. It came off. Are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? It got wrapped around this thing. Oh my gosh, that was a big bass, guys. Holy cow, that was biggest of the day. Oh my goodness. F word. It was bringing it towards me. So I never got a good hook set. And then obviously it wrapped around this rod. Should've, well, I mean, the problem is I can't have this rod up because it'd be hitting these things. I should have a shorter rod with me is the problem. This rod's too dang long for kayak fishing. I need to get a short kayak rod. My other one broke last year, if you guys watched that video. Dang it, man. Oh, man, my adrenaline was going on that one, guys. That was a big fish. I never understood about this lake is why there's a statue of a dinosaur and people taking selfies with it. Really doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just goofy, I guess. As you can see, it is raining. It is also getting dark. So unfortunately, that means it is time for us to call it quits. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Sucks that we missed that big one at the end, but at least I got that whole sequence on film, so it's not just a fish story, there's proof of it. As I mentioned earlier, I've spent a lot of time on this lake for work, and I've seen some huge bass in here. I'm talking, 8 to 10 pounders. So yeah, don't discredit your local pressured waters. This lake gets a ton of fishing pressure, but people keep a lot of bass, and that makes it so that the smart bass get very, very big because they don't have a lot of competition. They're difficult to catch, but there's big ones in here. We caught that first fish that was decent size. That last fish definitely felt even bigger than that. And we caught some other fish in between. It was kind of a slow day given the amount of time that we put on the lake, but for pressured water, I'm not going to complain. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next fishing adventure. Land ho!